Welcome to Pisces TV first broadcast. Yes, it is my very first one. And this broadcast is for April 7th through the 13th horoscope information for my Pisces. All right, now as we get started, I just want to appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Share the news with a friend or just keep it in your back pocket, whatever works. I learned something new today. Had no idea that there was a such thing as a positive and a negative zodiac sign, right? Pisces is a negative, mutable sign. And before you jump out of your seats or get offended, I'm a Pisces, so chill, right? But negative just means that you're more inward, going inward, and being more receptive versus signs that are positive that exude their energy outward or more expressive or something like that. So it's a balanced time for us because Mars, Aries, that's definitely outward. Okay? So we got the outward and the inward. Two battery packs that should work well together. Okay? Mars is in Pisces, I do believe, and that is a beautiful thing. Saturn is also moving into Pisces, I believe, or they're at least having a rare conjunction that we're going to talk about. All right. So there's a new moon solar eclipse in Aries on the 8th or 9th, depending on where you are in the world. And that just talks about healing and growth. Okay. Crossroads of who you were and who you are or who you want to be. Old patterns could surface, and Chiron in Aries and the Sun in Aries would kind of point toward core wounds and past hurts. So just be mindful of that. Now, the rare conjunction that I refer to of Mars and Saturn in Pisces, it happens once every 2 years. And then ironically, I saw something about something that happens like, I don't know, 2 years before or 2 years after a leap year. If I find it in my notes, we'll talk about that. But that was something because this year was a leap year, right? So it's a magical time this week. Well, it's been a few magical times, but let's focus on this week. All right, so the conjunction happens every 2 years and feels heavy at times and sometimes limiting. You may feel burdened by responsibilities, and this is April 10th or 11th. Depending on where you are in the world. Some may have trouble, some may not. All right. Now, the Sun in Aries will align with Mercury, offering a day of clarity, bold actions, and clear thinking. This is the 10th, 11th, depending on where you are with the conjunction. So, what does that mean? What does all of this energy mean for my Pisces? Well, you will learn how inherently worthy you are and valuable. You'll see how the universe has been showering you with abundance. Themes of value and resources are transforming for you. So if you don't feel the energy yet, if you looked around and said, it did what for me when? We're going to talk about that later. Definitely, it would be favorable to take the approach of receiving, to be open to receiving. Also, stay hydrated, okay? We must decide what's next. And it was ironic that when we did some of the domestic or finance and career readings, that this odd, weird card that I'd never even seen before, that wasn't a part of the minor or major, came out in the possible outcome the other day. So check that out. It was hilarious, right? But we're responsible for kind of figuring out what's next, and depending on where you are, that could be why some are burdened by the whole responsibility and all that kind of jazz, right? With the resources and value itself transforming in you and around you through all of us, and then whatever is happening personally for you, as well as where these signs could fall in your chart, right? We are definitely done with old problems. Just want to throw that out there. And you should expect a surprise gift. Yes. Yep. Yep. You heard it here first. Maybe not, maybe someone else said it, but it's true. Okay? Um if you've been kind of struggling with energy, you may also feel enjoyment, but there are some of us that could feel that they can't. Like you get a surprise gift, but then other things in the environment or just our perspectives, the energy, right, around us, we can't even enjoy the moment for what it is. So just be mindful of that if we slip into it. All right. Now, there was something really cute that I kind of found out about astrology, right? So I do like actual research and take it seriously before I come to you guys. And initially, I believe there was just like a fish. And then over time, it became a story of two fish. And that's a striking resemblance to Gemini and that twin brother that could just be the original Gemini, or Metatron and his twin brother that ain't nobody ever seen. Let me stop. I'm going to get back onto what we're talking about. Who else had a twin? Ain't nobody seen them. What is that guy's name? It's biblical. Some people even said like Nipsey reincarnated as him. Hold on. And all the religious people don't beat me up. What's this is bad that I should know. Enoch. Yeah. They got a mysterious twin too. Or a brother that nobody ever seen him in the same room. So anyway, yeah, it was one fish. It became two fish. And the constellation itself is joined by a cord. We talk about cords and connections all the time in tarot. In hoodoo, voodoo, soul purpose, my star seeds, right? So I looked into the cord, and the cord is called Alpha Pisceum. And I said that my first mind thought of Aries because of that alpha, the I am, right? And then there's parts of Aries that is now in Pisces as far as the constellation, and there's much of Pisces that is now in Aquarius as far as the actual constellations, like the movement. I thought that was very interesting. So this cord that holds two fish together, the two fish that used to be one, was just interesting. Since we're in Aries season with all these conjunctions, and I'm just going down rabbit holes and digging, and came back with some carrots. So there's a little bit of a treat, right? But closing out on April 7th through the 13th, some other things that we could expect is we may have more emotional control and the ability to distance and detach easier, if that was ever an issue for you. Not escaping, but actually healthily, all right, doing that. You can expect more support, right? We talk about that all the time with the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands. Everybody likes them. So when the readings have been shuffling out, you may have more support. You may get more attention. You may be appreciated. Or if that's what you want that you haven't been getting, please focus on that in this energy and you may align with it type deal. So I think that that's pretty cool. Support from those around you. It's also something that we can do to support someone in need, right? Without any expectations. That's something that as a collective, each one of us could try and do, or you could receive something that, because it's a surprise gift. So it's just like, I don't want to say Christmas. I already done been crossing lines when it comes to what people believe and how things were written, but right? Sounds good. All right. Rooting for the underdog is some things that we can see within the collective, right? The good guys winning a little bit. Intimate early childhood relationships could be difficult. So intimate relationships any early childhood situations, those type deals, and friends. So family, friends, lovers, whatever, could be difficult during this time because, Chiron's up in there. You may notice that you or people in the environment are being more experimental. Now, this is at the beginning of the week. We're going to do more readings, of course, throughout the month, and little energy updates in the tarot readings if I discover something um, or anything cute pops in. Or we can save it for the broadcast once a week. Whatever. I'll save it for the broadcast. Spirit says save it for the broadcast. Okay. So engineering may have some, I don't know, what do they call it? Some groundbreaking something, some new apps, some new software things, companies or corporations doing something. I think we're still in retrograde, but something with engineering, master mining, could be things that are highlighted at the beginning of the week. Frustrations may be high, irritability. It also talks about technology, astrology, and psychology being highlighted during this time. Be mindful, though, a few of the less favorable aspects would include being quick to speak and react in situations where it may pan out to be favorable to do that. Burning points with no control. So getting out of your body. Don't want to do that. Pushing, pushing oneself on others. Want to probably watch out for that. And that's why the whole giving and no expectations and focusing on what you do best or what we do best, which is that whole inward thing, right? Unless we're expressing something outwardly that could manifest something beautiful into our lives. And then, like I said, yep, it came back up. So things significant to 2 years before, or that may be significant within the next 2 years, which is kind of cool because now we all have to kind of come back 2 years from now and talk about this and see what that was. Okay. So you can expect some improvements in any of the areas that I've discussed, right? Don't throw it all into the pot and we ain't going to be delusional. But in some areas that I've discussed that may be highlighted during these transits, they could bring about positive change if there were some more unfavorable times in the last 2 years. Okay. Last thing, a lack of movement could lead to emptiness. But we also talked about not escaping and not dealing with those wounds and those situations by doing too much, right? So we just have to find the balance there. But that is what I have. And again, our Pisces TV broadcast for April 7th through the 13th, 2024. I do hope that you guys enjoyed. Until next time.